Hey, 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 it's Thanksgiving Day. It's 9:47 p.m. Let's discuss a few things right here off the bat. First of all, let's discuss China. Communist China. What do we know about Communist China being the kings of the East that God has told us? Well, these are older 2010 statements and stuff that were made on this site, Blogspot, Eschatology Today. The number of the army of the horsemen was 200 million. I heard the number of them, unless I saw the horses in the vision. Those who sat on them had breastplates of fiery red, hyacinth blue, and sulfur yellow. Notice the emblem on Chinese PLA General Liang Guangli's hat. Is it a mere coincidence that the above Communist Chinese Army emblem contains the prophesied colors of the 200 million man army of the kings of the East? Interesting. Let's continue. According to God, the kings of the East are on the move at the sounding of the sixth angel's trumpet during Daniel's 70th week. Their army is numbered at 200 million strong, and they kill a third of mankind while en route across Asia to a crossing of the river Euphrates, which is dried up in the sixth bowl, wrath of God's judgment found in Revelation. According to the text of Daniel 11, particularly the verses 42 to 44, after the other Middle East military campaigns which the Antichrist executes successfully, news comes to him about an approaching enemy force from the east and the north. Antichrist goes out with his military forces to engage them in battle. He shall stretch out his hand against the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. He shall have power over the treasures of gold and silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. Also the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall follow at his heels. But news from the east and north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go out with great fury to destroy and annihilate many. A 200 million man army coming from Asia would not approach the Euphrates along a single axis of advance. No, sound military tactics and warfighting doctrine would determine that these Asian forces will enter the region in several columns across a broad 800-mile front from the Persian Gulf to the Caspian Sea, Caucasus region. This 200 million man armed force will approach from the east and the north exactly as Daniel has foretold. Incidentally, the third of mankind which killed by these military forces are not necessarily resident on the continent of Asia, but all over the world, and which, when expressed in real numbers and based upon today's population of the earth, amounts to over 2.025 billion people. These deaths are attributed to the Eastern King's weaponry, which is described as fire, smoke, and brimstone. That's an interesting thought. The text provides a clear description of nuclear warfare on an unprecedented scale. It is at the same time quite symbolic of their nuclear weaponry and its effects: the fire of a nuclear blast, the smoke, the overpressure of the expanding sphere of destruction, and the brimstone, the fallout of nuclear debris. Well, it's possible. We've often considered nuclear warfare as that. Now, this is this man's opinion as far as that scenario, but we are seeing the biblical verses. I hold no doubt that the principle of these kings of the East is mainland China. The colors match. They can field a conquering army of 200 million men, and they are nuclear armed. China is the emergent Eastern superpower. Well, that's correct, and they got tons of money too, don't they? And where is this 200 million man army going? To the battle of Armageddon, where the Antichrist awaits with his own armies and several hundred miles west of the Euphrates River. These kings of the East will be at war with the Antichrist. coming to this realization answered another question I have long pondered. Why must the Euphrates River be dried up? The answer is because in that day, all of the land west of the Euphrates would be within the boundaries of a much enlarged Israel. Here's proof, he says. On the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, "To your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. The Kenites, the Kenizzites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites." I will send my fear before you. I will cause confusion among all the people to whom you come, and will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I will send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. Little by little I will drive them out before you, until you have increased, and you inherit the land. And I will set your bounds from the Red Sea to the Sea Philistia, and from the desert to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land unto your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. For if you carefully keep all these commandments which I command you to do, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to hold fast to him, then the Lord will drive out all these nations from before you, and you will dispossess greater and mightier nations than yourselves. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even to the western sea, shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand against you. The Lord your God will put the dread of you and the fear of you upon all the land where you tread, just as he has said to you. From the wilderness and this Lebanon as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea toward the going down of the sun shall be your territory. Interestingly, these verses also put the kibosh to the theory espoused by the proponents of the Islamic Antichrist. Eastern leg and peace empire, since these soon-to-be former Muslim lands, will be at that time belong to Israel. From Lebanon north to the former Hittite Empire, which today comprises the bulk of modern Turkey and northern Syria, east of the Euphrates River and Iraq. When in all of previous history has Israel occupied the lands of the Hittites? If the answer is never, then the occurrence of Israel's occupation of the land promised by God in Exodus must be a future reality and logically a result of the coming Gog-Magog war. So why is this subject on my mind? In the past week, Bill Gertz and Debka posted reports on the President of Chinese PLA Air Force warbirds in Turkey for participation in the recent Anatolian Eagle air combat exercise. The Su-27 and the MiG-29 aircraft flew direct from China to a refueling on the ground in eastern Iran and then continued on their deployment station at Konya Air Base in central Turkey. Previously, only NATO allies and Israel participated in the exercise. Turkish Prime Minister Öcalan stated the Red Chinese participation signaled a raising of bilateral Turkish-Chinese military relations to a strategic level per an agreement signed in Ankara on October 8, 2010. An advance guard Kings of the East have arrived for a strategic agreement between Turkey and the People's Republic of China. Well, this is, oh, you can put comments and stuff here. But this is Eschatology Today, and this is blogspot.com, and this is his idea, but we did see the statements, so we know 200 million strong. So China's not going to be going anywhere real soon until that happens. They'll be in this picture till the end. At least 200 million of them, right? Because that's what God just said. Now, when he comes back, and he's not here yet, he's going to come down from the clouds. He went up into them, he's going to come down on them. So, he's not going to be born into this world when he comes back and have to grow up. No, he was born into this world one time and that's that. Not coming back that way. He's coming down from above. So there isn't anyone here, anywhere, that can say they are him. We're pieces of God. We're parts of God. Nobody is Christ or God. We're a part of him. Nobody is him. That's it. So back to the black dot. These are different cameras, and you can go all over the place and find these cameras. And strange things when you look up is, other than the black dot, I mean, also you can see a lot of obviously strange things. Some explained, some not explained. This would actually be a couple of weeks ago from the Aurora, Australia's Antarctic Division. And just right here after you start it up, you'll be able to see whoop, it's already went back or by. This thing goes fast. You seeing it yet? Over to the right. Yep, there it went. Almost missed it again. You can see this is a whole different cam. And you got it over there too. Now let's go here. Right here you can click on a whole bunch of different cams, you know, the Hawaiian cams and different locations. Let's see, I've already got one set up. Well, let's go ahead and look at some stuff here. And as you can see, right off the bat, well, let's go ahead and start that over. See, you've already got a couple of objects that you can look at over there, you know, and you can look them up and see what they are, or maybe you'll decide what you don't think they are. But anyway, at the beginning of this cam, you already see them, and we play it through. It's a nice, very nice view from this cam. And then over on the right, you begin to see some stuff in the lower right corner, as well as things shooting by. So it looks like it would be a wonderful horizon to see live. It's a beautiful world above us, isn't it? There's so many things out there. We don't know everything about everything. But we know some things about a few things. And this would be Wednesday, November the 23rd camera. It's down there in the lower right. I don't know if you noticed it. You keep watching the lower right, as well as oh, there you go. And then you get to see some things rising and moving out. Then they come back into the field of view, your other objects. And it gives you something to ponder, something to view. Wonderful view. And of course, we can come over here, and I've already froze this on it. And you have the dot over here, of course. Like I said, it's hard for me to believe that every webcam stationed everywhere, with all the money they have at their disposal, with all the technology. And this one, you know, look at the shadowing on it, look at the clouds and everything, look at how much farther away it appears to be, but yet you're getting the same thing. So apparently it's shooting super strong at the web camera and pixelating and flooding the sensor, apparently, we already knew all that stuff. I mean, so anybody that put that in a video, all you have to do is click on webcam facts, and they already had that excuse down there. I mean, you didn't give us any answer when you tried to debunk that with the email to the supposed camera manufacturer. So you go back to this for a minute about coming in the clouds and make sure that you know I wasn't just saying that. They will see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. The Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, from heaven above your head, not sitting in a computer chair. The trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. The bridegroom is coming. Watch therefore, ye know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. Day nor hour. It didn't say month and it didn't say year. He said day and the hour. So he's telling you, I'm getting a window out of it. You may not know where in the window, but you can see where you're in the window. He is coming with clouds, and every eye will see him, even they who pierced him. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord, who is and who was and who is to come, the Almighty, one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds, holy angels with him. Son of Man, cloud. You can go through this whole thing, and you can see how he's coming back. So for those that didn't know, now you do. Now you can get interested and go find some stuff on your own. Prove it to yourself if you don't believe it. Verify the information, what have you. That's what I wanted to say. Hope you had a happy day. I just kind of lounged around and relaxed, and ate and watched some football. Then got on here and kind of tinkered around. Thought I wanted to share these things with you about the different cameras. You can look all over the world. Some show it, some doesn't. But I just cannot believe every camera is so technologically under advanced that they cannot filter that out. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'll leave that up to you, because I have my own thoughts on it. But I'd say pay attention and give it at least some benefit of the doubt, because if you close your mind off to the possibility of something other, then you've already shut yourself out for the information that it may truly be. On that note, I'll let everyone go. I hope the weekend finishes out for everyone. I'm lucky enough to be off work tomorrow. Those of you probably have to work. Well, have a nice Friday. God bless everyone. I'll talk to you soon.